we're gonna make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of clay. And so we're gonna start with making the jelly. And you're gonna start with, I have a baby food jar. That's what I'm gonna, because I'm gonna have extra and I want to save it, so I'm gonna have it in there. But you don't have to have a jar, you can just use whatever. Anyway, you take a little piece of clay. I'm gonna make strawberry jelly. So I have my reddish clay, and then I have TLS, which is translucent liquid Sculpey. You can also use liquid Fimo. It's liquid clay, so whatever you have. You just take a bit of clay. Since I'm going to make some for later, I'm going to kind of put in a little bit more, way more than what you need for one sandwich. And you take your TLS and you squirt it all over it. A lot of TLS. Anyway, and you can always add more TLS later, so that's not a big deal. And then you're gonna mix this together for a long time until it's completely gooey. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be back. So I've mixed the jelly with actually the end of an ink pen, but anyway, like the back end of it. And now I'm running out of battery. Alright, now we're back and I'm showing you the jelly. This is the jelly. It's all nice and gooey, and it's still a little bit chunky because, you know, that's what, well, jam, I guess, would be the chunky one. But that's what we have here. And then we're going to set that aside, and I'll show you how to make the bread. Oh, you do the same thing with peanut butter, except you use brown. Here's some old peanut butter that I have in here. It's just brown clay with TLS. Mixed together the same way you do with the jelly. Now, for your bread, we're going to be making these little thingies here. Can you see that? What you're going to need is that you're going to need like a cream colored brown, and then you'll need a nice little, either a teeny tiny, this is huge, but a teeny tiny piece of dark brown you could put into some of this cream colored, and then you end up with like a light brown. That's going to be for the crust on the outside. So you got to make them all nice and warm. So this is the inside of your bread. No. There's the inside of your bread. You heat it up with your hands and roll it into like a little snake. And then you'll have your light, very, very light. You don't want it dark brown, because if you do dark brown, it's going to look really fake. Anyway, so you're going to roll this out. You can use a pasta machine or just lay it flat. Pasta machine works, you know, wonders. I love that stuff. And you're going to take this, and my piece isn't big enough because I already made it once. No, I'm just using leftovers. Great, huh? Anyway, if this were big enough, you would wrap it all the way around. So let me work on that and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have my crust. It's rolled out, and I have I'm making a teeny tiny loaf of bread. You put that there, and then you roll this around so that way it's all covered up. Just kind of overlap it, squeeze it together. You can kind of roll it if you want.
I didn't take any.
Catherine, hold that with 2 hands, please. Squish the ends so they're covered with brown too. Go like that.
And this will seem to go.
Catherine, you gonna do clay? Later?
Yeah,
Later. Okay. So you have your little loaf of bread, and I have 2 ink pens here. So because I'm gonna try and make the where it's bigger curved at the top than it is at the bottom. I just use 2 ink pens, and I kind of squish it together a little bit, and then this one's actually a little too small, but that's okay. And then anyway, you just wrap over the edges there. And then you're going to want to squish it a little bit more flat. You're just shaping it. You can use your fingers along there. And I know it doesn't look real great right now, but you'll see. So take your bread. Now the ends may not be perfect for bread.
Can I have my doggy one?
and I'm squishing it out of shape when I do that, so you gotta kind of reshape it because this is nice and soft. And I'm gonna go with my bigger one that I made earlier because I took my time with it. So you slice it in half, and then you have the center where you're gonna cut slices. To get this texture, I go to my kitchen and get a peppercorn, my favorite texture tool, and just for the pepper, you know, then you just take it and you roll it onto the clay, and that creates this bread texture. Hopefully you can see that very well. But what I do is I just take slices of my bread and I roll it here. Just stop that. There we go. And you can see it gets a little misshapen. You just have to shape it back. That's okay. And it would be completely flat like this with no texture whatsoever. How close can I get here? How close will it let me get? Yeah. Okay, so you just take that and you roll it around on your bread. And you only have to do one side really, because the inside's going to be filled with peanut butter and jelly. So there is your slice of bread. To make the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you're going to have several slices of bread. And of course you can just keep the edge of your bread just like a big chunk if you want it for whatever setting you have. And just texture the edge and then leave it big. That's fine too. But we're going to take, let's see, that one's too big. I'm going to try and find a couple pieces that match pretty good. Like these two look pretty good. And I put texture on them. I'm going to flip them over to the smooth side because that's going to be the center. And then I'm going to get my jelly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put that on there. And as you can see, that's way too much jelly. Oh, my bread didn't want to stay. So, take off some of that jelly. Oh, there we go. It's kind of finicky. Come on, let go. Let go. Alright, there's your jelly. And put peanut butter on the other half. Here is my peanut butter.
No.
And now I'm gonna wipe off my little peanut butter knife here. Try and get these flipped over here. And there you have your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can see it better on the back than on the front. You can open this up a little. You just dab some peanut butter and jelly back on the front so it looks like it's coming out. And that's all there is to peanut butter and jelly. And then bake that. And it depends on what kind of clay you have, depending on how long you bake it. But generally you bake it about 275 for 20 minutes, and that'll bake just about anything. So, Fahrenheit. That's all there is to it.